Hi everyone, so this week we're going to be starting our clay unit and I'm going to be showing you how to make a pinch pot. If you don't have any type of clay at home, you can use Play-Doh, you can make your own clay if you just Google it, or I'm also going to use Model Magic and I also have some air dry clay here. So I'm going to show you how to make a pinch pot.
Perfect. So whatever you have at home will work. If you have Model Magic, you can use Model Magic. If you do have clay, that'll also work. You can also use Play-Doh or make your own Play-Doh depending on what you have. So the only difference is Play-Doh will not dry as hard as a clay usually would. Usually what I do in school is I put everything in a kiln and I fire it, which pretty much bakes the clay so that it becomes solid like a rock. So first thing, with whatever material that you have, you want to start warming it up. Using the heat from your hands, you're going to just kind of move it between your hands, giving it a little tiny squeeze each time. And what this does is it makes your clay nice and warm and easier to move, or whatever material that you have. So to start, we want to make our clay or Model Magic, whatever you have, into a ball. So to make it into a ball, what I like to do is I like to move my hands in a circle with my clay sandwiched in between it. You can also use the table. You'll notice how my hand is going in a circle to make a ball. It doesn't have to be perfect, but get it as close to a ball shape as you can. So mine's looking pretty good. It's a little lopsided, but that's okay. So to make a pinch pot, what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your hand almost like a crab, like a crab's hand like this, or like a mouth. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your thumb and you're gonna push it right into the ball so that your fingernail is covered up by that clay. See how you can't see my fingernail? So I'll show you again. It creates a little hole. You're gonna stick your thumb right in there. Then using your helper fingers, almost like a crab hand, you're gonna start pinching your clay. That's why it's called a pinch pot. So I like to pinch and turn, pinch and turn, pinch and turn, pinch and turn. And you can see how I have my helper hand over here kind of holding my pinch pot. So I'm pinching and turning, working nice and slow. Pinch and turn, pinch and turn. If you start to notice there's some spots that are getting a little bit thicker than other spots, just kind of use that helper hand to move that clay where you need it. And I'm pinching and turning, pinching and turning. Oops, I have a crack right there, so I'm just going to use my skin on my finger just to smooth it out. Pinch and turn, pinch and turn, pinch and turn. And now my hole is so big now that I can use two hands. The thickness, or how thick or how thin your clay is, you want it to be about the thickness of your thumb. So I put my thumb up to kind of test my thickness. Oh, it's a little too thick right there. So I'm going to squeeze it down. And on the bottom, you can feel with your pincher hand how thick your clay is. You don't want to have it be too thin or too thick. If it's too thick, it may not dry. If it's too thin, it may break. You'll also notice that I'm starting to get little cracks here. You can just smooth those cracks out just with your fingertip, like that. Depending on what you're using, once you get your pinch pot, mine's just about done, depending on what you're using, and I'm using an air dry clay, is how you're gonna be having your pinch pot dry. So if you use Play-Doh or something, it may not dry really, really hard, but it will still dry. If you're using air dry clay, that will dry. If you're using regular clay, that'll get really hard too. So depending on what you have, you're gonna have to let your clay or Play-Doh or whatever you're using dry out for a couple days. And you wanna make sure during those couple days you don't touch your pinch pot because you don't wanna ruin it. So depending on what you have, you'll just let it dry. So I have mine right here. It's just about done. I like to test it on the table just to make sure it's not wobbling or falling all over. And then sometimes what I also like to do is I like to take a pencil, or I have a paintbrush right here. You can use this to create designs in your pinch pot. So I'm just pushing this in here to create little dots. So however you want to design your pinch pot, that is the basic idea on how you create these little pinch pots. Voila, there's your pinch pot.
When your pinch pot's all dry, you can then paint on it with paint or draw on it with markers if you'd like. I think I'm gonna leave mine this white color. When you are done though, if you are in kindergarten, why don't you take a picture on Seesaw and send me your picture of your pinch pot? And if you're in grades K through 6, you can upload a picture to Art Sonia. If you don't remember how to upload a picture to Art Sonia, I posted the video in your Google Classroom. So check out that video. If you need any help, shoot me an email. Bye guys.